Oh, I clicked on Discord and he popped up. I don't understand how that shit works, but okay.
And welcome to another episode of Podcast, the Movie, the Podcast. I am your host today, Tyler Weiss, and I am here with my friends, my compatriots, my co-workers. I'm going to need you to come in on this weekend.
I had a feeling
to the right of me. To the right of me, I have Mr. Logan Henderson.
Hey guys, it's me. My name is Logan Henderson. I'm here on video today. Just wanted to introduce myself to the team. Glad to be part of the team. Thanks for bringing me on.
Absolutely, man.
Is this your Zoom impression? Like, is this yourself doing an impression of yourself on Zoom?
Hey, so
Seems like that's what.
no, man, not. It's not that.
That's what it is.
Okay.
All right. Directly underneath, we have Mr. Rubyen McCormick.
Oh, are you up there?
Yeah, he's above you.
Oh, okay. Hey, man. What's up, guys?
And directly below me, I have Austin Newell. What's up, buddy?
Tyler, you're below. What?
Yeah.
This is where I've always wanted to be. Tyler.
You just wanted to be under me?
I
Is
don't
that
know
what it
which
is?
direction to look.
Gross.
You just got to make sure you're looking up at the person you're going to argue with the most.
There you go. oh, it's weird how I set this up, isn't it? So it's almost like I had some strategery going on.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing.
Strategery.
Wait, does that mean Ruben's on my right?
If you look the other way, then you're looking at Ruben.
Wow.
There you go.
Ruben's
There
on
you
my
go.
left. What's up,
Am I
Ruben?
looking at him?
Nope. All right. Great job,
Ruben.
guys. This is
Good. It's
this
great
is
content. Great content. guys.
Great content.
Great content.
Especially for the
Glad-
people,
glad to
the
be doing this.
99% of the people who are unaware that
Are
there's a
listening
video
to this
person.
on audio?
Yeah. Like, none of this makes any sense to me right now.
Yeah,
You're
and
like,
if you want it
what
to make sense,
the fuck are these people doing?
don't
Yeah,
forget to come and check us out on YouTube.
Absolutely. So no YouTube content. So worked really, really hard on that. Spent at least 45 minutes coming up with this. So, all right, guys. So welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. This week, kind of as a preview, we are going to be doing Office Space today. So before we get into the main part of our content, kind of go round table directly below me, Mr. Austin Newell. Hey, what have you been doing lately, man?
Man, we had ourselves a week. Let me tell you, Tyler. We had ourselves a week. So we went to
Where'd
the
that come
movies.
from?
Me and Ruben, we actually went to the movies this weekend because it was supposed to be a group thing. You guys remember, right, Ruben?
Exactly.
Yeah, so it was supposed to be a group thing where I wanted all the boys in the podcast group to kind of go to the movies this weekend, and everyone, just to let everybody know at home, everyone is COVID safe to my knowledge. Nobody has it. Most of us are vaccinated as well, so we're good there too. But we were going to the movies to go see Godzilla versus Kong. Ultimately, it was
First time back in the theaters.
First time since, I don't even remember the last movie I saw. I don't remember.
I saw
Was it
Sonic.
Hobbs and Shaw?
I saw Sonic
Oh,
a week
you're right.
before the.
That's what I saw. It was Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah,
Sonic
right
the
before
Hedgehog,
the
yeah.
pandemic happened, man.
Yeah, well, so we went and saw Godzilla vs. Kong. I did not expect to like it as much as I did, but upon some review, I don't know if I liked it because of the movie theater experience or if I liked it for the movie. So I'm kind of torn. I don't know. I'm just watching them beat the shit out of each other. I was into it, but I don't know. Otherwise, today, actually, Hannah and I just finished 11/22/63, and that's my second time through on that, and her first time, and she absolutely loved it. And we are in the middle of discussing what the next miniseries is that we're going to watch. And it's kind of a toss-up between, I don't know if you guys have seen The Kennedys that came out in 2011. It's like an 8-part miniseries, but it's more of a, it's like historical nonfiction about the John JFK's life and
as opposed to
Jackie.
historical fiction.
As opposed to, like 11/22/63,
Right.
fiction, right? We're debating on watching that. I really want her to watch Umbrella Academy because it kind of has time travel-y ties to all that shit. But otherwise, no other movies watched other than what we watched for this week. So just 11/22 and then the movies.
Let me ask you this. You were wanting to go to another miniseries. Are you wanting to keep it like historical, or are you wanting to do something that's timey-wimey?
Well, I don't know. I mean, it doesn't
alternate
matter to
history, because
us.
I've got some recommendations for both.
I know you do, John Adams.
I don't know. I've considered watching Chernobyl because I've heard that's really, really good.
Yeah, it's really good.
It is.
I don't know if I want to watch that with her though, because I don't know if she would like that. But
you should do Man in the High Castle because it's It's like alternate history. It's a different timeline, and it's got the historical tie-ins to it, and
multiple seasons.
I've considered seeing that show, but I feel like if I'm going to watch The Man in the High Castle, I would rather watch. And I'm not saying that show's bad. I've never seen it, so I really can't say. But Peaky Blinders on Netflix, I've heard is
Peaky Blinders
really good.
is really good as well.
And I like
absolutely.
the I don't know if it's 1930s, but it looks 1930s, 40s like gang era, and I like that shit a lot too.
Yeah.
So I might delve into that.
If you do that, turn
as
on
well.
subtitles because you get a lot of the talking, and it's like I don't know what they're fucking saying. It's pretty thick on the accents. I don't know if you guys have that problem.
I'm already at the age, man. I'm at the age where subtitles is on all the time, like video games, movies.
99% of the time, yes, subtitles.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I almost never. I mean, unless it's like a YouTube video, I always have subtitles on.
Yeah,
Even
if it's a
then.
newer movie, I usually try to do subtitles if I haven't seen it before,
Yeah,
and it's story.
yeah, but that's all I've seen. So just a mini series and Godzilla vs Kong.
Nice.
Awesome.
Is Godzilla vs Kong available on streaming, or is it just movie theater?
It is available on streaming. It's actually available on
Temporarily.
HBO Max.
Yeah.
If you go to HBO Max from now until whenever the HBO Max is not going to be showing it anymore. It's. So do we want to talk about Kong right now, or we want to kind of get through everything? Because I legitimately I got about 10 minutes on Kong that I kind of wanted
Oh my god.
to get out there.
Well,
so.
Austin introduced it, so I think go ahead, man.
So Austin said. So Austin enjoyed the movie, and hey, look, if it's for the movie going experience, absolutely. And this is the thing about Kong that you kind of have to do whenever you're watching it, which is it's the same thing that I do whenever I'm watching Fast and the Furious, which I know, like Hobbs and Shaw and shit like that. Austin's totally out on that. This is the thing, though. You have to kind of completely suspend all areas of disbelief because there is
that's the thing, man. Godzilla versus Kong. It is in a area that is so unreal that I already go in and my brain's like, shit, this ain't real. I can just vibe to it. But like,
right,
Hobbs and Shaw. I feel like it tries to be serious. It's like we're a spy. Like FBI, CIA, whatever the fuck they are, like we're doing this shit, and it's like they're trying to make it seem as real as they can, and I'm like, no, that's bullshit. This shit would never happen. But when you go into Godzilla vs Kong, like I know that shit can't happen, so I just go in. I'm like, all right, what's it about? Like, let's go, and then like it was great. Thought it was wonderful.
My whole criticism of that movie is the humans in it. Because it, like, legitimately, if it is a movie about a giant lizard fighting a giant ape, then I'm totally cool. I'm totally down with it. It's the human beings that completely ruin the movie for me. Because, like, all the filler exposition, all the places that they go, the people that are in it that I do not care if they get eaten by either King Kong or Godzilla. And then at one point in time, there's a bad guy / daughter of a bad guy that gets she gets et pretty hard, and it's just there's no emotional connection to it at all. So you really just don't give a fuck if any of the humans live or die or anything like that. So that is correct. It's neither here nor there on any of that stuff.
But when she got fucked like that, though, I'm not trying to spoil it. But when she got fucked like that, I was like, yeah, fuck that bitch. She was a bitch.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but that's
because she was so overtly.
Yeah, I was gonna
a
say I
horrible
haven't
human being.
seen it yet, but I can already tell just the way you guys are talking that it's set up in such a like a boring, trivial way where it's like, well, obviously you're gonna hate this person because they're just
Yes.
needlessly terrible, and it's
so needlessly.
I think it's
terrible.
the same kind of situation with like Pacific Rim. If you guys have seen that movie,
Yeah, 100%.
I actually really like
it's exactly
Pacific Rim, but yeah, the human parts of it are really bad.
It's
and,
yeah,
and boring.
Look, if it's just about the big ass monsters or big ass robots or big ass anything fighting over a tiny city and they're crushing shit and they're stomping on people, I'm down. I'm down. Because like there's some really badass fight sequences between Kong and Godzilla in I guess it's in Tokyo, is that where it is, or Hong Kong?
It's Hong
I can't remember
Kong.
where
Yeah,
it
it's
ends up
Hong
taking
Kong.
place. And there's like so much craziness that's going on and buildings smashing, and yeah, I'm curious to like what the death toll was on something like that.
Literally,
It
tens
has
of
to be
millions.
tremendous.
Tens of
Millions.
millions.
It's tens of millions, right? Tens of millions of people.
Let me say, Logan, can I spoil something else for you in the movie?
yeah, I don't care
you-
about that movie at all.
Okay, listen, dude.
Yeah.
When I'm watching this movie the whole time, I'm just it's the most 80s movie I've ever seen that was made today. And to the point where they're going through like air ducts and stuff.
Oh yes.
They pull out the Die Hard and everything, huh?
And listen, Mecha Godzilla shows up, and you're like, oh, of course Mecha Godzilla would show up. Like, you don't even question it. You see him, and you go, yeah, that makes
yes.
sense.
What about
Yeah.
Hitler Godzilla? Does he show up?
Well, hey,
yet.
hey, calm down with that
Oh,
nonsense.
that's the sequel. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the movie was fun to watch, but I watched it once, and I'll never watch it again. And
I agree.
I will say I haven't watched any of the other ones, so maybe that kind of plays into it. Maybe I should
It
go
doesn't.
back and catch up, Tarantino
You shouldn't.
style. No, I'm going
you
to.
shouldn't.
Okay.
But,
I mean that's cool and all if you want to, but there
it's-
is really no need for any of that.
It's definitely
that
a
is
movie
just
I would've-
superfluous at this point.
I would have told people go watch this in IMAX just for the visuals alone and just the sound
Yeah.
effects.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Well, one of the
production
things
is
that
really well done.
we talked about last night when we were gonna originally record this, and then we decided to push it one day, was that when you have these big monster movies or effects driven movies, you can't realistically make a 1.5 2 hour long movie of nothing but those big CGI fights, because the movie would
They could,
cost
though.
$10 billion to make.
Okay.
And,
There's that.
That's I
Yeah.
think that's why they do that, is the main part of it, because it would take forever. By the time
Yeah.
it came out, and so there's a couple exceptions. There's one exception in my mind, I guess, the only one I can think of, which is Avatar, in that the entirety of that movie is heavily special effects driven, and it to varying degrees of success. Like visually, it looks amazing. I think that's unquestionable, but there's some story
Yep.
stuff and.
Yeah,
But yeah,
of course.
my point being that it's just I think they're always going to be this way, where you have the boring humans that are doing trivial shit in comparison to a giant fucking monster fight.
Yeah. And look, like I said, monster fight aside, the movie is terrible. Okay. So
He's right.
The acting is terrible. The story is so bad. Like it is
Good.
like hurts my brain how bad
That's
it
what I
is.
expect for a movie like this.
But-
that's what I want.
But the
it
monster
made
fights
so much money.
Oh yeah. And look, this is why the rating system is completely broken, because if you go in to this movie, look it up. Are you looking it up on Rotten Tomatoes right now? Look it up on Rotten Tomatoes. It's 75% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Hell yeah.
And
That's a bit generous.
And like it's
The
everybody
audience
is like
score, the audience score is 92% with over 5,000 reviews so far.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why like the whole rating system is just completely fucking broken. And
It's gonna win an Emmy.
I don't think it
Emmy?
can win an Emmy.
No, think
I
about
think
it.
it can win an Emmy.
Think about it.
Oh, television content. There you
Yeah.
go.
All right.
There you go.
They're
Right
gonna-
there.
they're
Yeah.
gonna-
HBO Max. There
Well,
you go.
I think when it comes to like audience versus critic scores, I think what really sets those apart is context. Audiences factor in the context of, when did they go see the movie? Who did they see it with? How was that experience?
Sure.
Where critics are specifically talking about the content of the movie. And you have a movie here that is just your classic summer blockbuster action flick. You just go out and see it with friends, and you just have a good time. It doesn't really matter really about the movie at all. You're just going to hang out with your boys. And we are just
even from critics, it still gets a 75%.
Which, yeah, and I think that in this instance, when we're in a near post-COVID world, near post-pandemic world, where
so close,
even the critics are able to be like, I could watch that movie where that lady is kicked out of her house or whatever, and she's living in like a trailer, and I'm sad the whole time.
Nomadland, great movie.
Or I could watch this fun movie where a giant fucking gorilla fights a fucking monster.
Yeah.
And, that's
by the way,
the mood we need right now.
So the things that they did for this movie, they made King Kong bigger than he has ever been in the history of any of the King Kong movies ever. Even in its own franchise that it's coming from, the last iteration of Kong that we see came from the previous one, Kong Skull Island. In Kong Skull Island, he was like 100 feet tall, which was like crazy because the tallest that he'd ever been before then was 50 feet tall. So you have a 100-foot tall Kong in Skull Island. And then the same, because they talk about Skull Island in this film, the same Kong, which makes no reference to the finding him on Skull Island and everything that actually, went to getting him off there. Anyway,
no Jack
really
Black
matter.
mention.
Well, that's a different. That's a
Yeah,
different
that's
King
a
Kong.
completely different
That's the
storyline.
Peter Jackson's King Kong,
Yeah.
not the Kong Skull Island, where you
Just the
have
Monsterverse.
you have Loki, you have who is it? There's a bunch of.
I'm a
there's
fan
bunch
of the Jackson
characters.
Kong. Okay.
Yes, yeah.
That's where I
So
belong.
that's why he was 50 feet tall in Peter Jackson's. He was 100 foot tall in Skull Island, and in this one he's 300 fucking feet tall in this one. Just so, because like legitimately, if they just left him, 100 foot tall King Kong up against Godzilla, Godzilla would just stomp on him one time because Godzilla is like 300, just over 300 feet tall. Godzilla would stomp on him one time, and that would just be the end of the entire fight. So, just nonsense. It's just nonsense.
Yeah.
But like legitimately, if you want to go watch a movie specifically for just the special effects and drink yourself or smoke yourself retarded before you go into it, to go jump right on that bandwagon. It's awesome. Nice. Moving along. So, let's see who. Rubyen, you're next, buddy. What have you been doing lately, man?
I took the SUV to the car doctor and was like, hey, my brakes are squeaking or something. I don't know what's going on. It happens when I back up. He's like, all right, you need this fixed today or what? I was like, no, no rush. Like, I just wanted to bring it in before I go on a trip in a couple weeks. But, like 4 days passed and he calls me and he's like, hey man, this thing doesn't squeak at all. We've just been driving it around. It doesn't squeak. And then I hear
we put 8,000 miles on it.
Yeah, you've just been driving my car around. It was like a legitimate automotive shop, but like, it doesn't squeak. So what do you want us to do? I mean, and I was like, well, I mean, I don't know. I just wanted you to figure it out, I guess. And he goes, all right, well, we'll just lube everything. And, if that doesn't work, we'll ride with you while you drive it. You point out the noise and then we'll go from there. And I was like, okay. And then like 2 more days pass and they called me today and he's like, hey, I'm going to send you a quote. And then it was like $250. They decided to replace my serpentine belt as well because I'm over a certain 100,000 miles.
Okay.
So that's cool. I guess I paid for that. But other than that, I just been...
you got fleeced.
Yeah, for sure, dude. I'm going to get it back, immediately leave, and it's going to squeak. And I'm not going to... Yeah.
Thanks for that slice of life story. That was enjoyable.
Yeah, man. That's what I've been dealing with for the past week.
I would actually legit, like, not an anime, because there's a shit ton of those, but like just a slice of life story of Rubyen just with a camera, just doing what he does. I would watch
my general day over day.
Yeah.
All right, sat on the couch for 4 hours.
So, look, if you want to know a little bit about Rubyen, whenever we very first started up this whole video, Rubyen was eating a pint of avocado non-dairy frozen dessert. It's like
Yeah, but
ice
it
cream.
was Java chip. It was chocolate. Yes, it's made of avocado, but it doesn't. It's not. I'm not eating avocados that are ice cream. Like, it's
okay. If
Yeah.
I said blindly,
mhm.
one of the four of us is eating avocado, non-dairy,
Yeah.
whipped, frozen dessert. Oh, it's Java chip flavored. There would be no doubt as to who it was.
Correct.
Ruben, I'm sorry, but he is 100% correct.
Yeah.
Hey man, I'm just saying.
I
It's
love you, man.
delicious. It's delicious.
No,
I need you guys to
hey,
try
dude.
It does
Yeah,
sound really
look,
good to me.
yeah.
Like I'd like to get in that, you know.
It sounds delicious. It really does.
It's like $6 to $8 a pint.
Who the fuck finds something like that, though? That's
Just
my question.
Treat yourself once, and you don't have to buy it all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, did you eat the entire pint?
No, I couldn't. I tried. I had to go put it back. I almost did. I probably could have forced myself to, but I put it back. I
Nice,
also have
that's
a
good.
vanilla bean version in the freezer too. I haven't touched that one yet.
Okay.
But
Yeah. Let me know how that goes.
I'm a big fan of vanilla bean.
Yeah, you might have to share that. So
But yeah, guys,
We can-
I've just been watching random shit when I fall asleep. I watched Accepted from 2006. The movie is very much just it feels like an early Superbad in a way.
Early,
It-
didn't
What
that
is-
come out after Superbad?
No,
What
it,
is
it comes out
Accepted?
2 years before Superbad.
Huh.
So Justin Long doesn't get accepted to college, and his parents are very strict, and
I've seen that.
some of his
movie.
friends don't get into college. So he comes up with the idea to make a fake website that shows he was accepted to college and show to his dad, like, hey, look, I got into this college. So his dad will give him like $30,000 for the semester. And his dad does it, believes him. And then he goes to like, take fake photos at the place. Turns out he actually like bought the rights to like an abandoned place whenever he did it. And when he made the website, a bunch of people signed up, and then a whole just fake college starts. And it's,
the
continues from
South
there.
Harmon Institute of
Yes,
Technology.
shit. The South Harmon
Yes.
Institute of Technology.
That's hilarious.
It's a very mid 2000s.
I was
Like it is aged. It is
Mid-2000s as
aged
hell.
quite a bit. There are also some jokes that probably wouldn't pass for today's standards. That at the time were just casually dropped, But I would recommend it. It's fun, and I love Justin Long.
Yeah,
I'll tell
Justin
you
Long,
guys,
and it's
you
got
need
Jonah
something.
Hill in it too.
Yeah, it's got a big Jonah Hill. Pre Superbad.
Yeah. Dude, I have
Okay.
seen that movie. As you started to describe it, I realized that I did watch that movie, like, back in the gap. But
Yeah.
I almost completely forgot it because it was mostly
It's
forgettable.
one of those like it shouldn't have been as actually decent as it was movies. It's kind of in the vein of American Pie in a way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I like Justin Long,
Yeah, and that's the main reason I watch
and
it.
he represents Windows PCs now. So,
well
in your
that's
face,
debatable.
Ruben.
That's debatable.
No, he does, man. We bought him out.
But I also the other night decided to watch the 1996 Ghost in the Shell remaster that they did.
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
my God, does it just look amazing?
Yep.
And just it's incredible. The type of thought that was put into Ghost in the Shell. I'm not an anime person, so I, when I watch this, it's very, very anime, but it was like enjoyable. I don't know how to describe it. Like Ghost in the Shell, 1996, blows my mind. I really want to get into some of that Ghost in the Shell lore, and I know there's somebody out there just like, what do you mean you've never seen Ghost in the Shell? But
You know what's better than
Probably
that
my
one?
cousin. He's probably out there saying that right now.
probably.
The only thing that's better than that one is probably the 2017 Scarlett Johansson.
Oh,
version.
you're probably right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't
Yeah.
seen that one. Either.
Yeah, I've heard great things
You
about
can-
that.
Skip that one. Just jump right over that one. It's that's a no bueno. That's what that is.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
I like the
But,
review that I left for our local cable company last night.
Yeah.
Dog shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
I told you can't leave that. It's gonna get filtered out automatically.
Whatever.
Yep.
I said what I said.
All right.
All right. So Logan, catch us up on how your week went, man.
It's been a interesting week for me. I have had a couple changes going on. Didn't watch. I don't think I actually watched any additional movies, but I started a new series. You know, I'm a Brooklyn Nine-Nine fan, a Parks and Rec fan. Well, I've seen The Office. I'll put it like that. And so I like me a good workplace sitcom. So I started to watch the show Superstore, which is essentially a show that's kind of taking place inside of a retail store, bunch of retail tropes. So any of you out there that have ever worked retail, like all of us here on this podcast,
Correct.
I think that you'd find a lot of joy in the show because whoever does the writing on it, I mean, they certainly have worked retail before because you just get a bunch of these small little details, you know, in all the different scenes that you will immediately relate to. Like you'll have people just like talking to you about stuff that you're like, man, you know, I'm glad you're telling me, but I really don't care. It is super early. And you have like there's a guy who comes in and he is asking a question about like a toothbrush, and then he's just asking like so many specific questions about this toothbrush, and it's just like, dude,
I love that episode.
Yeah, and he's just like, dude, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Just buy one, please. Like who knows about this? No one knows about this in the store. It's so useless. Just buy it. And he's literally there till they close. It's small stuff.
What are the revolutions per minute?
Yeah, I think he says something like that. Like he's like, does it attack the tartar or is it just like? And it's like it's all this specific stuff, and it's like what? And my favorite part of the show, by far, is every now and then, almost Family Guy style, it'll just kind of cut to a customer just doing some weird shit, like just something going on with our customers, like I mentioned this, I think, last night, where he's just like eating a bowl of soup while he's like walking through the toilet paper aisle or something. And no context, he's just walking around eating soup. Like, why are you doing that? And if you haven't worked retail, you'd be like, is it really like that? Are there people that just leave their baby in a cart, or they put their baby on the scale in the produce area? And the answer is yes. There are people that do that, and it's every single day.
100%.
So
yeah,
go ahead.
Whenever you were talking about that and the conversation that we had, I'm not going to repeat every bit of it, but like legitimately, you know, I've been in a situation where I watched a toddler go running out of the front of a retail store, and to you know, nobody's surprise or shock or amazement, and you know, right into a busy parking lot. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah,
it's insane.
There's just
the
stuff
things
happening
that you get to see during a
yeah, like you'll just be walking down the aisle somewhere, and out of the corner of your eye you'll see a customer that's over there just like, you know, looking like they're about to take off their shirt, and you're like, what's going on over there? And then you think, you know what, I don't care, I don't get paid enough. And so you just keep walking, you know. And it's the stuff like that is my favorite aspect of the show. It just captures some great caricatures of, you know, your workplace buddies and things like that. It's got some general workplace sitcom tropes, like the love story is like straight lifted from things like The Office and Brooklyn Nine-Nine, like just straight up. In fact, it's almost the exact beat for beat story of Brooklyn Nine-Nine in that aspect. But you know, I like that too. It's like comfort food, you know?
Well, everybody knows from working retail, if there aren't 9 different love triangles that are happening simultaneously throughout whatever work environment that you're in, I mean, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, it's just something that happens. And,
it's just something that happens. If you put people together in close proximity with each other, you know, smashing starts happening. So,
and like the store manager on it, I mean, he's almost exactly our old store manager, like to a T. He's almost just like him. It's very funny.
Yeah.
It's very funny.
Hilarious.
So
I'm gonna start watching it for bed.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing. It's on Hulu.
It's great.
I believe all the seasons are on Hulu, called Superstore.
How many seasons are there now?
I think there's 6 seasons, and it just ended.
Yeah.
I think this last few months it just ended, the last season. So it goes into the COVID thing, from what I've seen. So you get a little bit of that. But yeah, that's mostly what I've been watching, guys. It's just that one show.
Awesome.
I'm like
awesome.
I watched the first season years ago, and It was pretty good, but I just kind of moved on. And
Yeah,
so-
that's kind of what I did. I think I watched like the first season, maybe the second season, and then just never went back to it. So, yeah, definitely. I'm going to revisit it after our previous conversation.
Yeah,
So 100%.
I'm on the 3rd season right now. About to be done.
That's awesome.
About to be done with that. So yeah, go check it out if you're a retail person or not. I think you'd still enjoy it.
Yeah, which kind of leads directly into the movie that we're going to cover. But before we get there, the other film that I really wanted to talk about, other than King Kong vs Godzilla, is going to end up being. So I went back and like I always do before watching the movie that we're going to watch or talking about the movie that we're going to talk about. I went back through and I rewatched Idiocracy, and I just wanted to kind of revisit a little bit of Mike Judge universe. If you haven't seen like King of the Hill, you're really doing yourself a disservice. You'll also notice that a lot of the characters that are Mike Judge does the same thing that a lot of other directors do, where he will use the same characters again and again and again. Stephen Root is Milton in Office Space. He plays like Bill Dauterive and like a bunch of different characters throughout King of the Hill. Same thing with what is his name?
Well, Stephen Root's been in like everything. So
like
not the
everything. He's
best
been in
example,
everything.
but I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Well, not only that, but like you want to talk about a guy that's actually in everything. He was in the what was the Amazon show that you were talking about earlier?
Man in the High Castle.
Man in the
Man in the High Castle.
He is
the man in the High Castle.
Yep.
So, but like David Herman, who plays Michael Bolton in Office Space, is also he works with him again and again throughout many different things. And also, this is kind of the bit of information that I just found out, which is one of the writers of King of the Hill is talking about maybe a return of King of the Hill.
Really?
I would love.
Do we have any info about what that plot would look like, though? I mean, are they
No
just
idea.
gonna just be King of the Hill, or is like have people aged finally? Like, is Bobby like 23? Like,
Dude, that would be crazy. That would be
like-
crazy. Like an
That'd be
older
dope.
version of all the everybody. Yeah, I would love it, man. And it's King of the Hill kind of became one of those shows for me where it was the thing that I would watch like as I would go to sleep. So it became this thing that just you catch an episode or two every single day. Just an incredible show. And my son, he used to watch it like that was the only thing that was playing in the background. The entirety of his teenage years was just episodes of King of the Hill, constantly just running.
I believe
so
that.
yeah, I caught up on a lot of Mike Judge, and I know Rubyen, not Rubyen, Austin. We've had this conversation before, and you're not a huge fan of the movie, which I think that you're wrong. Idiocracy. Idiocracy is such a fun movie to be able to watch. It is so incredibly dumb, but it is one of those things that I watch it and laugh my ass off every single time. The thing that I didn't realize until this viewing was his name David Herman. David Herman actually plays he's the Secretary of State in Idiocracy.
oh yeah,
I didn't even realize that was the same guy. Didn't even realize it was Michael Bolton. So, but
water
if you,
like in the toilet.
yes, that's exactly
Yeah,
him.
yeah.
That is him right there. I love it. God, it's such a good movie. Such a fun movie. So that's kind of catches us up on that right there. You guys want to jump right into Office Space or
Yeah,
just,
I was thinking about doing that, but I think
hang out
actually
here
before we do
for
that, Tyler, I'm
just
gonna need you
a
to move your
little
desk
while
back to the other room. Yeah.
Listen, guys, listen.
Yeah,
you
go
guys
ahead.
came in here.
Yeah,
You're not wearing the right kind of flair to be a part of this podcast. Okay.
you're correct.
So do you want me to like
Rubyen,
put more on? Or?
if there was a specific number of flair that you wanted me to wear, you just tell me. Give me a number.
Austin's
Tell
like,
me how many
here we
pieces of
fucking
flair
go
that I
again.
should be
the
wearing.
minimum is 15.
Okay.
And you have that many,
Okay.
but we want you to express yourself.
Austin's wearing 37. I know. So if you want the minimum to be 37, look, guys, I've seen this movie so many times, like legit seen this movie so many times.
Same, dude.
We talked about this on was it the End of the Heat podcast, I think is what it was. And, as we were, getting ready to do this podcast, I lived this movie. I'm going to tell a little bit more detail about the life that I lived. I worked for a now defunct computer programming software company, and I was a computer programmer during the transition between the pre. When did I start working over there? 90. It was before the 2000s.
Yeah.
And so we had to go in and actually correct all the software, changing all of the code that's written in the software, because everybody was fucking freaking out that the software was not going to function whenever the 2000 the switch over from 99 to 2000 happened, which didn't happen.
Yeah.
So like across the board, it didn't matter apparently. So man, I'm telling you, we spent hundreds of man hours sitting in there and going through and making code corrections and finding dates, and it
sounds like the worst job imaginable.
It was terrible.
Sounds incredibly boring.
Terrible. I'll tell you something that's more boring than that. So I would also write printer drivers. I would write printer drivers on like the spacing between the lettering and like the formatting. And so I would have to write the driver that told the printer how to be able to print out specific receipts. One of the fun things that I discovered while I was doing that was how to be able to make whatever the company's logo was print out onto the receipt. And that was something that had never happened before at that particular company. And I just thought that was a nice little touch that I was able to add to the receipt printer function. And but like there's so many parts of that job that I hated so much. I hated showing up every day at the office. I hated sitting there with the same people. It was not fun.
Soul crushing.
I'm not very good at it. Oh my God. And I'm not good at like desk jobs. I'm not good at being able to sit down and just be quiet. Could you imagine me?
Yeah, I don't think that's possible.
Being quiet for, it was a 10 hours a day. And this is what was fucking crazy is I would drive almost an hour to be able to get there. And then I would work 10 hours at a desk at a job that I hated. And then I would spend an hour driving home. So the only joy that I actually got from my life was in that hour there and hour back, being able to listen to music, being able to listen to podcasts, early podcasts. I ended up working there for 8 years. So, and then, I kind of told the story at the end of the Heat episode, which is how I stopped working there.
Yeah.
So I decided that I was just done, and they wouldn't fire anybody. Like, they legit would not fire anybody. And so for months, I would show up at work, and I was going through a divorce at the time. There was just a lot of stuff going on in my life. I was not in a happy place, and I was hoping that they would fire me so I could get unemployment, but they would not fire me. And like, I would show up at work and cut off. I had blue jeans that had holes in them, and I cut them into cut off shorts, and I would wear flip-flops to work, and I would show up and I would take my hat and I would flip my hat around and then put it over my eyes. And I had, this was before wireless keyboards were a thing. I would take and I got a keyboard extension. I went out and I bought a keyboard extension from like Radio Shack, and then brought it up there so that I could stretch out the keyboard and put the keyboard in my lap while I sat with my feet up on the desk as far away from my desk as I could possibly get. And then
that is amazing.
I would fall asleep.
How much effort you put into not doing your job.
Correct. I would fall asleep, and as I would fall asleep, I would hit the space bar. So at least the screen was on, because if the screen went dark, like, I don't know, I guess there was a part of me that didn't want to get into trouble. So the way that I'd avoided getting into trouble is I took a very unplanned vacation and decided that I just didn't want to show up at work for a couple of days. And so I didn't. And then my boss, her name was Tina. Hi, Tina.
Tina.
They moved my desk because of my lack of productivity. They moved my desk directly in front of her office so that one wall of her office was nothing but a giant window that looked out onto the programmer's floor. And so they moved my desk so that she stared at the back of my head the entire time, which was great. And I came into work after having a multi-day hiatus, and I kind of figured that I was going to be fired, but I just showed back up like nothing had happened and sat down at my desk and started doing all my work and pretending like I was going to be productive. And then she called me on the phone. She didn't even step out of her office. She called me on the phone and she was like, "Hey, can you come into my office real quick?" So I go into her office. She's like, "Yeah, so, whenever you take a couple of days and you just don't show up for work,
Yeah,
that's job abandonment, and we've already fired you." At least they didn't Milton me. At least they didn't, let me work there for a couple more weeks.
just stop paying you.
And yeah. Yeah, there was a glitch in payroll.
Yeah,
And,
you're gonna have
uh,
to take that up with payroll.
We fixed the glitch. Oh, you
so
fired him?
He's been let go.
Oh, whoa, no.
Yeah, we don't like
No, we
confrontation.
fixed the glitch.
We just,
Yeah.
We leave that up to you guys.
it's amazing
I just-
how accurate it is to Office Space.
Oh my
that
God.
entire story was
Almost
almost like it was a shot-for-shot remake right there. Although before it,
I did this as Office Space became a thing, and I worked there. This was 3 years after Office Space, and if you don't think that I drew some type of inspiration directly from Office Space, yeah, damn right I did. Yeah, man. Look, it was a terrible, soulless company to work for. Somebody's got to do it. Legitimately, somebody has to do it. It just turns out that somebody is not me. So, and whenever you watch Office Space, the parallels between Office Space and what that actually looks like it working inside of an office, or even the Office Space and what that looks like working retail sometimes, because sometimes working retail at a lot of different jobs that I've had over the years the Gary Cole, the Bill Lumbergh character, that is a hardcore existing character,
Yeah.
a human being
so
that
accurate.
I have met
It was such a great
multiple
portrayal.
times
I
in my
met
life.
multiple Lumbergs.
Yeah,
One thing I like about this movie is how grounded it is as well. I mean, even the opening commute to work early in the morning, we get all the different characters' perspectives of the commute. And, I lived in the Dallas Irving area from 2011, 2012 or so until about 2015. And I commuted about 35 minutes to work to sit in an office and work in a cubicle at a computer and do spreadsheets. And this movie was kind of that, I don't know, it was something I could relate to at the point where in the roads they're driving on at the opening of the movie. I'm like, oh, I'm on that road. I've been on this road before. Cause some of the
Yep.
shots are done in Dallas, and it feels very much the same with the traffic there. You're in one lane of traffic.
I think it's shot in Austin, but yeah.
Is it though?
I think it's most of it's shot in Austin,
Oh, okay.
yeah. There could have been a couple
it-
shots in Dallas.
but
though.
yeah, it feels very,
It
very,
feels
very familiar.
much. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
so familiar to the point where you get all three perspectives. So you get the traffic is stalled. You get the now I'm stuck next to the guy just trying to hawk his wares and make some money, which so funny to me for Michael Bolton. He's the hardcore gangster guy, and in his cubicle he's got
So funny.
posters and frames of all these artists. And
Yeah.
he's just rapping word for word along with the album, and he keeps saying "What's up, G?" every time. He's just the cool guy, right? But then at the same time, he doesn't want to interact with the black character that comes by. He immediately locks his door.
yeah,
He turns it down to not get attention. But I'm trying to determine that scene was he just not wanting to get involved in trying to like get this guy's attention because the music is so loud, or is he just being racist?
I think the second
it's
one is what I got.
Because it's Dallas, it's Texas to an extent, but it shows that parallel of like he both enjoys the black culture, but at the same time didn't want to interact with like the the black person on the side of the street trying to make money.
I don't think he's racist.
I think he just
think that
didn't want to get shit talked by that guy.
Yeah, I think he's intimidated by that. No matter how hard Michael Bolton is, no matter how hard he is.
Yeah, he can't even tell. Yeah. Oh no, thanks. I don't want to buy any flowers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just no. Even when he's in the meeting with the Bobs, he's like, "Oh yeah, I love Michael Bolton.
Yeah."
He's just bad
you
at
must
all the
love Michael Bolton.
confrontation.
Yeah, he's terrible at that.
And the
Absolutely.
only thing that pushes him, ultimately, he's like, I could rip off this company. I could write a program and just take money, right? Like he's thought about it already. He's done everything. He just can't do the confrontation part.
Superman 3.
And I think finally Peter just breaks him and kind of pulls him along.
Oh yeah. The character of Peter, Ron Livingston. Ron Livingston is such a good actor. The thing every time, apart from Office Space, the thing that I always think about when I think of Ron Livingston is Band of Brothers, the TV show, the HBO miniseries. If you haven't seen it, it is incredible. It's basically like a miniseries that is a redo of Saving Private Ryan. Feels very Saving Private Ryan-y. And just it's incredible. It truly is incredible. So he's a great actor. The cast that we actually have in this film: Ron Livingston, Jennifer Aniston. You want to talk about what was Jennifer Aniston doing in 1999?
Just came off of Friends, like at its
making $1 million an episode,
and it just goes, "Let me do this indie movie real quick."
Yeah.
She had all the time in the world, man.
Well, all of her scenes were done just over the course of like a couple weeks.
I think the whole movie was done probably in like a couple weeks or a month, I would imagine.
Yeah. And look, Mike Judge, he talks a lot about like the making of the film, but he also had like really, really bad experience with like the post-production and really bad experience with like dealing with the
advertisers,
the studios and oh my God, there was so much of that stuff that he just fucking hated every aspect to that. They actually gave him the opportunity to be able to make Office Space 2, and he completely turned that down. He was like, "No, I'm out."
Even I read NBC even offered him prior to Steve Carell's The Office coming out. They offered him to be the one to create The Office for the U.S.
Yeah,
and he actually turned that down as well. But could you imagine if we got where we're at now with The Office, but as a Mike Judge version?
Oh my God! Yeah.
You
want to talk about a more dry version of The Office? Jesus Christ, man. And this is the thing that I love about Mike Judge and his wit and his humor. It is very much in the same vein of things that just make me giggle my ass off. I love that whole style of comedy, which is why I really enjoy Idiocracy. So to a little bit of a different opinion before we get to Logan. Austin, kind of tell us what your thoughts and views are on Office Space.
Well, Tyler, I'll tell you, I've seen Idiocracy, you see, and I didn't like Idiocracy at all. I don't even remember why I watched it. I think somebody else recommended it to me, but it was years ago. I don't even remember. I think I rented it. I don't remember if I went to Game Exchange and bought it on DVD to watch it, or if I just straight up just rented. Doesn't matter. Don't care. Didn't like it. So when I went into this movie, I was like, man, I really hope I like it more than Idiocracy. And when I watched it, I actually watched it at my girlfriend's house. I went over there, and my brother had his girlfriend, and we were sitting there and watching it. And I'll tell you guys that about 10 minutes in, both of the girls fell asleep, and they were gone the whole movie. They did not wake up. My brother Adam was not about it. Like every time I looked over at him, he was not into it. Like he was just bored the whole time. Since we started doing this podcast, I give movies more of a chance than I ever used to. So like I'll sit there and I'll kind of analyze it more than I ever did. So I was watching it the whole time, and at first I thought it was really dry, and I thought it was kind of boring. Like the first 10, 15 minutes, I was like, wow, like where's this shit gonna go? Like I didn't know anything about it going into it. But I mean, once the story kind of developed a little bit, I have decided for myself that I think it's better than Idiocracy, to me. But I don't think it's that much better. Like I think it's good. It's just not. It's not something I'm ever gonna watch again. It's like that with Rubyen and Godzilla vs Kong, and you too, Tyler. Like it's not something I'm ever gonna watch again because it just didn't. It took a lot to keep my attention on that movie. I just couldn't get into it the way you guys do.
I'm sorry to hear that, man. Because like the humor in this movie, I think it's a little different than the humor we get in today's comedy stuff. It's very much a like if you're not kind of just passively watching it versus like trying to like relate to the characters, where like even PC load letter, what the fuck does that mean? Just like that frustration of being in that office to the point where you're mad at the copier because it just never works. Yeah. And like
I think it's just, to me it's so relatable. Even though I haven't worked specifically in like a cubicle, for me the closest thing that I can relate to is the TPS reports, where it's like
you have 3 different managers coming down on you.
Yeah, that entire that entire interaction is so familiar to me, where they're wanting me to do something, and this is a bit awkward with amongst us in here, but because one of these people is the Lundberg in this story. But
oh shit.
Yeah. But
I wonder who that is.
Yeah, so I would get told by one person like, "Hey, you need to, get these things completed by the end of the day." And I'm like, "Okay, that's fine." And then I'll work on that. And then I get it from another person, "Hey, I saw that you didn't get those completed today." And I wouldn't mind
Make sure
that.
you get these completed.
Yeah, they need to be turned in and signed and all this stuff. And at the end of the day, it's not something that even probably matters all that much in a lot of the instances. Like coaching forms. It's like, okay, how many times do we need to talk about this? Like, how many times do we need to talk about the same shit?
Apparently a lot.
Apparently a lot is what I was told, and I'm told a lot. So, that's why, like the whole TPS reports and then being told the same thing by, 3 different people. That to me is like, that captures that movie right there. That is exactly it. It's this idea that, it's intentionally dry in the first 15 minutes on purpose to just get you into the world of, wow, I know exactly what it's like to fucking just almost not even, like, have this, like, out-of-body experience where you're just showing up to work and going through the motions, and you're tired, and you're disassociating from reality, and you're just like, man, I don't even know what I'm doing anymore at a certain point.
I also love, though, in the movie, we get his neighbor Lawrence as the parallel to the white-collar office worker. We get the blue-collar, mullet-wearing, just all-American Texas guy.
Fucking Diedrich Bader, man.
Yeah, dude.
I love that dude so much.
Hey,
2
Peter,
girls at the same
Channel
time.
9, man.
Turn on Channel 9, man. It's the breast exam.
Oh, I thought you want to see that. Hey, he's like, come on, Lawrence, just come over here if you want to talk to me. And I love that they have that relationship where he knows that they can hear each other through the wall. Yeah. And he just walks around the corner, comes in, doesn't knock or anything. They're just friendly enough to just be able to go in and out of each other's apartment.
When they're talking about like the this whole thing about them gonna go steal the money, and then it's just, you can't tell your girlfriends, you can't tell any of your friends, you can't do any of that stuff. It's just between us, okay? And then they're like, okay, yeah, right. And then you hear Lawrence, he's like, yeah, I won't tell anybody either, guys. And he's like, who's that?
Who the fuck is that?
That's Lawrence. He's cool.
Who the fuck is that, dude?
I love too, though, that Peter's like, so Lawrence, what would you do, man? Like, what would you do with $1 million?
So this is the question that I know.
The dead seriousness that he gives him, where he stares at him. I'll tell you what I do, man. 2 chicks at the same time. And Peter laughs like, oh, it's a funny joke. Like, yeah, of course. But then the way he stares at him gets me every time.
Yeah, he's
the
100%
dead delivery
serious.
Seriousness of it.
Yeah,
this is damn straight. I always wanted to do that, man.
Oh, that's it.
And I think if I were a millionaire, I could hook that up too.
Yeah.
Because chicks dig dudes with money.
It's like, what about you, Peter? He's like, I would do nothing.
Yeah.
And
shit, man. My cousin Rico, he ain't got a job. He ain't never had a job in a long time. He don't do shit. You ain't got to do, yeah. That
I
whole
I
sequence
love
is
that
hilarious.
I have to admit,
You don't
I
need $1
think-
million
I
to
think-
do nothing, man.
I think out of all the characters, Lawrence was my favorite, right next to Michael Bolton. I think those two are top tier in that whole movie.
Yeah, dude, they have some amazing quotes. I think the best quote in the movie is whenever Samira's like, "Why don't you just go by Mike?" And he's like, "Why should I change? He's the one who sucks." That's my...
He's the
Yeah.
no talent ass clown.
yeah, dude.
So
I love
that
part.
right there, I did not know this, that like ass clown was something that he had just coined, David Herman had just coined right then and there, because they couldn't call him an asshole. This is the thing. So they had to come up with something else. And so David Herman was like, like that no talent ass clown. It just became this thing that just ad-libbed right there in the moment. And then, let's see, I was doing the research, and in 2018, as of October 2018, the term ass clown was officially entered into Webster's dictionary, crediting writer Mike Judge for its first using it in Office Space. Shit like that is hilarious.
Yeah, dude. It's so, and like, dude, my dad called me ass clown all the time growing up
Yeah.
in reference to this movie. And
Yeah.
you know, I love it.
It just became part of the vernacular, 100%.
I've seen this movie, I mean, probably dozens and dozens of times. And part of the reason that it's easy to watch, it's like an hour and a half, if that. I think it's like right at an hour and a half.
Yeah, it's very digestible.
Yeah, you can watch it whenever. Like whenever we got done recording Heat, I watched it. Like I watched it like right
I
then,
did too.
like immediately, because I was like, I can knock this out right now.
I think I've watched it 4 times between Heat and now. So, yeah, it just becomes one of those things like, okay, so if I put it on in the background and I don't catch a specific part of it, I know I'm going to watch it here in just a little bit anyway. So, yeah, it's just one of those things that I've seen so many times.
I also love the trope where we get it's Friday. He's about to leave the office. He's been saying all week, I know that Lombard's going to ask me to stay this weekend. He's going to ask me to come in. And he's trying to shut down his spreadsheets at the end of the day. And it saves, and then it saves the save. And then the template has the save. And he's like, oh, what the fuck? Like, it just keeps going. And then as soon as it finishes, he turns around to leave. And he's like, yeah, Peter. Like that, just that buildup. I felt like every movie did that, where it just took so long to save something, and that would always get the character stuck. It's just hilarious.
Hey, let me ask you something. When you come in on a Monday and you're not feeling real well, does anyone ever say to you, sounds like someone is having a case of the Mondays?
Oh, hell no, man. Somebody said something like that to me. Get your ass beat.
They get their ass beat, bro. Yeah, dude.
I got to wake up at 6 a.m., go down to Las Colinas and put the drywall in the McDonald's.
That's exactly what he was doing.
The delivery is just, the way he says his lines gets me every time. I'm just cracking up thinking about
He's
it.
a great actor, too, because like he
Great
can
actor.
play that, and then like in Veep, he plays like the slimy, like well put together politician guy, like the exact opposite of this. And I love him in just about anything he's in.
So there's a whole bunch of behind the scenes footage and stuff like that. If you get the copy like we did, I hope everybody bought it on iTunes. Did you buy it, Austin?
Yep.
Yeah. So if you go back and you watch the behind the scenes footage and everything like that, like there's a whole making of, and there's a conversation with Mike Judge, and Mike Judge kind of just breaks down all the different characters. And one of the things that he says about Diedrich Bader is like they had a conversation about like what this character Lawrence is and kind of, like who he is. And he was like, okay, I got it. And like legit, he has that character nailed. And so much so the whenever that scene is where they go to get a beer, and he's like, oh, hey, let me go ahead and open that for you. Diedrich Bader brought his own bottle opener, and that became like part of the character that he had. So that whole sequence right there was him like, no, man, I got it. And he reaches into his pocket and he pulls out his own bottle opener. That's quintessential. I know that guy. Like I've met that guy so many times throughout my life. The guy who does drywall, who is like dead serious about everything that he says.
Hey,
but,
we going fishing this weekend or what?
Yeah, like legit. And and a dude that is not going to fuck you over by any stretch of the imagination, and he's there just to kind of exist in this world. I love that guy. That's a good dude. I'll tell you though, like my favorite scene of the the film is the thing that Logan, you were talking about earlier. This whole thing about having multiple different bosses, not the TPS part of it, but it's Peter sitting down with the two Bobs. And, a little shout out to not just Paul Wilson, who plays Bob Porter, but John C. McGinley. And John C. McGinley is just an incredible actor, most known for playing Dr. Perry Cox on Scrubs.
Mm-hmm.
And if you know anything about, did you guys all watch Scrubs, right?
Was forced to as a child.
I know his character in Scrubs. Yeah,
I've seen Scrubs multiple times.
Beginning to end, I've seen it so many different times.
It was one of the first bingeable shows I watched on Netflix in 2010.
The super sad thing about Scrubs is none of it was filmed on film. It was all filmed on tape. None of it was ever filmed in HD, and it was all filmed in 4:3 aspect ratio. So every iteration of Scrubs that you will ever get to see, it will only ever be available it's never going to be there's going to be some HD upsampling and stuff like that, but that's the best it's ever going to look. If you watch it on that one of the mini CRT TVs that Rubyen has, you're going to get to see it in its original format, the way that it was meant to be seen.
Yeah,
Rubyen,
one of his 47 TVs.
Yes,
I'll
absolutely.
let you guys know I only have 3 now. Okay.
3 CRT televisions, and they're stacked on top of each other. It's great.
That would be badass. I wish.
But that sequence of Peter sitting down with the two Bobs, and they have that whole conversation of, the thing is, Bob, it's not that I'm lazy, it's that I don't care. And then he goes into the whole sequence of, I've got 8 different bosses right now. And, that whole sequence where they're kind of just spelling everything out, and you watch the two Bobs and they're just astounded by the things that he has to say. And they just sit back, just kind of taking it all in. And I love, this is something that I've seen happen in multiple different jobs where a person that definitely is not qualified for a position is put into a position of power because of, not a sequence where somebody goes to a hypnotist and gets hypnotized into not really giving a shit. Oh man, and the whole hypnotist part of it, the fact that the hypnotist fucking dies right there in the middle of it is so goddamn good.
What a premise that he gets this clarity from being hypnotized and doesn't come out because the guy dies. What a premise.
Well, I mean, yeah. Do we know that what we saw was reality? Is this a
way down
unreliable narrator situation that I never considered in this movie?
No, I think we get it at face value. And I think also, I mean, he wasn't even hypnotized. I think it was finally that moment that allowed him to realize, I could just fucking have a heart attack while I'm working. Why? What does it even matter? I think the hypnosis had nothing to do with the fact that he kind of had this, clarity, I guess you could say, about his job. He would have ultimately made that decision. I think the guy dying in front of him probably pushed it a little farther, if that makes sense.
Yeah, because they discussed the shrink's job situation as well, and that's kind of what gets him going too. It was kind of a weird scene where he just was talking to him and getting all sweaty at the same time.
Yeah,
he keeps saying, "You're going to go way, way down,
way inside."
Yeah.
And I also love the serving scenes where Jennifer Aniston's coworker is the overly excited,
the tchotchkes waiter.
The tchotchkes waiter, because I've met those waiters. And
100%.
That guy loves it. He's like, "Can I offer you guys some poppers or some appetizers?" He's way too into being a server right now.
Yeah, dude.
Nothing? Just coffee, huh? Yeah, that guy.
Somebody's got a case of the Mondays.
Yeah, man. Those scenes, and I love that Mike Judge is he's the general manager. He's the boss at the tchotchkes. It's so great. It's so fucking great.
Nails it.
And so I guess the one of the big parts of the film that we haven't really talked about yet in depth is Milton. So Stephen Root's character, and the introduction of a prop that is probably the thing that this film is most known for, which is the red Swingline stapler.
My stapler.
It's my stapler. That's it.
I told you if they take my stapler, I will burn the building down.
And
okay,
he does.
Okay, I'm gonna burn the place down.
Okay, but yeah, that whole thing. So the reason why it's a red Swingline or at all. I mean, Swingline because they make the best staplers, but the red Swingline because they needed something that was bright, something that was easily noticeable, and so they took a Swingline. They had made 3 of them, and one of them Mike Judge has, one of them Stephen Root has, and one of them they burnt up in a fire. And that red Swingline stapler, that is, people would contact Swingline after seeing the film, and they wanted to know how they could get the red Swingline stapler, and it didn't exist because Swingline didn't make a red stapler, and because of all the requests and everything like that they had for this prop in this movie, Swingline started making a red stapler, and then now it is like the number one thing that Swingline makes and manufactures is the red Swingline. As a matter of fact, I had one at one particular point in time. I don't know what happened to that. I bet somebody stole it. Fucking Lumberg.
I actually had one too, I'm not going to lie to you. Because the stapler is by far the most often quoted thing from this movie that I've ever done. Any situation involving a stapler since I was probably 13 has involved, can I borrow your stapler? or something like that. It's always been, or if I let someone borrow mine, like, I'm gonna need back my stapler when you're done. I do it every single time, and I love it.
There's a breakdown of what Milton Waddams says. I love that his last name is Waddams. It's just so fucking. it's so Milton. There's a breakdown of all of Milton's lines on IMDb if you wanted to check it out. If you look at the synopsis of this episode, I am actually going to be including as the opening line to the synopsis of this episode the conversation that Milton has while talking on the phone, and it's long, but god damn it, is it so good. It is so hilarious. So all right, anybody else have anything that they wanted to be able to add to the old Office Space?
I just looked up the stapler, and it's $20 on Swingline's website.
There you go. You can get it right now.
What a promotion.
I'm going to get me one.
Go to swingline.com.
Yeah.
It's swingline.com/red stapler.
Talk about the freaking when they beat up the printer.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, ultimately, you get finally they break, and they steal this printer. Also, I want to point out, like, this is a time pre everything being recorded. Like, why are there no security cameras in the building? And there's no guards.
Peter didn't give a shit anyway, and he has the bobs in his pocket so fucking heavy that it wouldn't have mattered if he stole the printer either. So
what's the matter with you people? Why can't you understand? I'm a goddamn people person. I'm a people person.
So you don't actually take anything from the customers to the programmers?
Well, no. But you don't understand. I interact with them.
Oh, so you're talking to like you personally are talking to the customers.
Well, no.
But usually it's my secretary. But I'm God damn it, I'm a people person. You're not understanding.
I can literally not quote this movie the way you guys are quoting it.
I know. It's because we've seen it 1,000 times.
Yeah,
something happened. Apparently, he tried to kill himself, and he was gonna sit in the garage and just gas himself. And his wife shows up, and he realizes he loves his life and loves his wife, and backs out of his driveway to go get some food, and he gets T-boned by a drunk driver. And now he's got a bunch of settlement money.
Yeah. That's Drew telling the story, right?
Yeah, I think
so. Yeah, Drew, played by Greg Pitts. Yes.
Fucking O face.
You gonna show your O face,
dude? That. Oh my god.
there's so many great characters
Freaking
in this.
O-face guy.
From yeah,
I hate that guy.
I mean,
so
if
much.
that hasn't become a staple in everybody's life,
I've used that line multiple times as well.
well, that and Orlando Jones, his character, that I love. We had a little conversation about it before we started recording the podcast, but that whole sequence of being a crackhead that sells magazines, or in our case bread, usually
the banana bread in the parking
it's
lot.
banana bread in the out in the parking lot. Absolutely. So that's what reformed crackheads do, is sell things to unsuspecting victims, or
Hey,
just
but that
people that
banana
can't say
bread
no.
that banana bread's baller as fuck. All right,
Telling you, man.
See,
At least every other weekend, I'm getting me some nice banana bread.
bro. If I catch him in any parking lot, I swear
I'm not
to you,
even
if I have
I'm not
cash
even
on me,
religious,
that shit's
but I just
mine.
I'm kind of hungry. So I'm like, yeah, dude, here's to the church, man. Good
Yeah,
luck
absolutely.
to you. Give me that bread. I'm hungry. I haven't had breakfast. It goes good with coffee.
All right. So, apart from the beating the shit out of a printer, which, man, I love the way that the whole thing breaks down. The taking the printer out there, and Samir, not gonna
work here anymore.
Dude, and Michael Bolton, it's so personal, dude. You can see actual hate
Oh,
on
yeah.
his face during that scene. Like, he quits for a little bit and they're
He
holding him
starts
back.
punching it barefaced.
Yeah. He's just going
Just-
in, man.
I
What
love it.
legendary scene that I think is like ultimately like the climax of the movie for me, because that's just like you said, Ruben, that's where things really start to escalate at that point. And man, I've wanted to go
Well,
out and
from there to the fucking the day after they institute this whole, it's just going to take a couple of, it's pieces of pennies. That's all it is. It's
Yeah,
just
fractions of it. You're stealing from the
fractions.
crippled kids?
No. I'm not. No, it's the tray. It's the tray. It's the
everyone
pennies for
takes
everybody.
a penny. Yeah.
Yes, everybody takes the penny, and we're not even taking a penny. We're taking it's pieces of a penny. And then what did it have in it? Like $300,000 the next
Literally,
day.
like the next day, 300
Yeah.
grand. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That's great
hey,
stuff.
Hey, Peter, man, watch your cornhole. Watch out for your cornhole, buddy. Okay, Lawrence. I love
Watch out
that.
for your cornhole.
He's like, I'm gonna be going away for a while, Lawrence. I just wanted to let you know.
Yeah, dude.
Lawrence also reminds me of like Price a lot.
Oh,
I
yeah.
can
See
see
that.
Gives me
I
a lot
can
of
see
Price vibes.
Yeah,
I like
that's
when he was
hilarious.
like, "Are you still going out with Ann?" And he's like, "Yeah, I think I get the feeling she's cheating on me." Yeah, I get
Yeah,
that
me
feeling
too,
too,
man.
that. They all say
Yeah,
that.
they're
Even
all
when they
like,
go
yeah,
out
yeah.
for lunch, their first day at lunch. And also, when they're just drinking coffee, Michael Bolton puts like 20 packs of
The whole
freaking
time
sugar
he's
in
putting
there.
sugar in this. Yeah, that's great. He doesn't like to drink coffee. I can tell you that right now. He likes to chew on sugar. That's what he likes to do. So.
Oh man, I got nothing else, guys.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So, is everybody ready? Does everybody have something ready?
No,
There's
but
something-
I'll think of something if you wait for me last.
I think we can
Okay.
give it a shot.
So Austin goes last.
What
Yes.
episode number
Aust-
is this?
Austin definitely won't. His will not be voted on. So
No, I'm gonna
Um,
get something. Watch this.
there you go. So let's see. We're gonna go with Logan. Logan, you're up first.
All right. Well, I did a little test run with
Oh,
what I was
wait.
originally going to do,
Yeah,
and it failed. So I have amended it.
You want to tell everybody what your original
I
idea
was gonna suggest that we take a look at Rent because it's objectively good, and I really want to watch it. But you know what? You guys are too casual for that. So y'all aren't ready for that yet. So
Yep.
instead, I was going to suggest a much better movie, which is Wild Wild West. I'm just kidding.
No, I was ready.
No, dude,
I love
I
it.
actually,
I
I
love
actually do
Wild-
kind of want to watch it.
I love Wild Wild West.
Oh man.
But no, I was actually we've talked about it several times on this podcast, and I think it is about time that we look at an Indiana Jones movie. And I feel like
Oh.
Raiders of the Lost Ark, we've got to start there, obviously. So I was thinking maybe.
Well, when are they releasing the 4K versions of Indiana Jones?
Oh, that is
That's-
fairly soon.
Fairly
That's
soon.
I'm not saying it's a bad choice. I'm just that'd be a good thing to
Maybe
wait
the
for. So
timing is not great.
I mean, I'm not
Right,
getting it
yes.
anyway. I just want to watch it now. So I don't care
you don't
about
want
you
to
guys.
buy the 4K copies? You're crazy.
Don't care. Don't care. I'll watch
You
it on
should.
Disney Plus. Don't care.
Yep.
But that's my suggestion. Is
right.
bum bum ba-dum.
Okay, I'm going to sing the theme song to the movie that I want to watch. No, I have no idea what the theme song would be.
Well, with that though,
I was
I
waiting
would
to.
say that if you haven't done it already, you should go listen to the bonus episode that Tyler Weiss did with our friend Cody Tucker on Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Pretty nice episode.
Super fun.
I need to catch that one.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, it was great. It was great. Cody, who will probably he'll make an appearance on this podcast at some point in time with the rest of us. Incredible insights into movies. It was great to be able to sit down with him. He is probably probably next to Logan. He's the one that challenges me the most on like just the background movie lore and directors and films and everything like that. Just
Yeah.
love it.
It's impressive
Loved
as
it,
hell.
so.
Just how quickly he was able to recall some of that information.
He's so good like that, man. Just everything right off the top of his head, or just right there within recall. He pulls the movie title Oblivion out of nowhere.
I forgot about
yeah.
that movie when he brought it up.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, I haven't seen that movie in forever. I kind of want to watch it.
Yeah. So the movie that I'm actually going to be talking about that I would love to be able to cover, if not next week, then some point in time, is going to be a little turn to the dark movie, the dark side of the realm, getting a little bit away from comedy into a little bit more serious undertones. I would love to be able to do Training Day.
Oh.
Denzel Washington. Ethan
just
Hawke.
because you watch King Kong. King Kong ain't got shit
Ain't
on me.
That's right.
All right.
That's right.
I hate you.
I don't know jack
No.
shit about Training Day, so I mean,
Oh my God.
Can
Yeah.
you believe it?
Can I believe it? Yes. Do I believe it? 100%. Does it fit to his character? Yeah. God
Does it
damn
upset me?
right it
It's
does.
it's not even a character. It's just me.
Yeah, I know. That's hilarious. I know. All right, Ruben.
I don't know why you guys are doing this to me. I'm just gonna throw something just wild out there that I just clicked on it. I'm browsing all my catalog of stuff. Let's watch a movie called 30 Minutes or Less. What you guys
Okay.
say?
What's that
Look this
about?
up. Okay, so 30 Minutes or Less. I know Tyler said he's getting away from comedy, but this is a comedy movie.
It is a comedy.
But it's
Yeah.
also an action heist movie.
Yes. Yes.
So Jesse Eisenberg is a just regular guy, pizza delivery
Pizza
man,
delivery guy. Yep.
and he goes to deliver a pizza to these criminals who order a pizza, played by Danny McBride and Nick Swardson.
Oh,
so already
I know what this is.
already hilarious.
I forgot Nick
And-
Swardson was a human being.
Oh yeah, what a funny dude that I feel like didn't get bigger roles he needed.
I think he got
he
like
just
on,
fell
I
off.
think he got like on.
he's still
crack and
around.
stuff
He's
a little bit.
yeah, I think he was like a druggie dude for a while. But I mean, he was like leading his own show on Comedy Central for a while and all kinds of stuff. But anyways, yeah, 30 Minutes or Less. Jesse Eisenberg gets kidnapped. It has to go through with, like some high stuff. It's pretty funny. I like
Don't
it.
spoil the movie.
That's literally just on the poster.
No, I know.
But I like it. I think you guys would like it. It's not a
Fun
good
movie.
I remember when the trailer
Not a
for
good
this
movie?
came out. I remember what this is now.
It's loosely based on real shit though, where the pizza delivery man was kidnapped and used to rob a bank.
Yeah, doesn't he do like? I remember the big selling point with it was that it was pretty action movie-y for a comedy.
No, yeah, it's pretty high quality action actually. Like I feel like they went above and beyond what they should have done, but it's a Sony Pictures, so they invested pretty heavily in the cast at the time. I mean, even Michael Pena shows up for a little bit, and it's just hilarious.
Aziz Ansari is in it. Michael Pena is in it. Yeah,
Brett
absolutely.
Gelman's in it as the boss.
Yeah.
Like before Brett Gelman became like who he is now. Oh, actually, can I change my answer? Let's not do that. I want to do Joshi. I want to do Joshi just to get Logan's hot take on why he doesn't like it.
Maybe.
I'm changing mine's Joshi.
Actually,
I'm
I'm changing mine too. I'm changing mine to Grandma's Boy.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
All right, hold on. I'm changing mine to Big Daddy.
Big Daddy.
All right, so this was your episode podcast, movie the podcast.
No,
Okay,
I'll keep
okay.
mine. I just thought it'd be. I do
All
want
right.
to watch Grandma's Boy at some point, though.
I would like to do that.
All right, Austin.
All right. So I have a feeling. I mean, I know that this is a good movie, and the thing is I've never seen it. I've always wanted to see it, just because I've heard it quoted. This is the movie I think it is. I've heard it quoted several times, but I just saw who the director was though, and I feel like we've already done this director before, at least once that I can think of. But I'm looking at the movie Seven. How do you guys feel about Seven?
Oh,
Ooh, baby.
Hell yeah.
It's a David Fincher
Yeah,
joint.
It's been
it
a
looks
while
like.
since we've done some Fincher.
yeah.
And I know we did Fight Club, but I know that this movie's baller as fuck. I've just never seen
God
it.
damn.
I just
It's
don't-
such
I
a
don't know anything
fucking
about
great
it.
Movie.
I just know it's good.
All right. So we're doing 7? Is that what we're doing? Okay.
All right.
All right.
Let's do it.
No, hold on.
is that really?
Oh,
it?
wait, okay.
on,
We're gonna
hold
vote.
on.
Everybody has to
Everyone
vote.
has to vote.
Everybody has to vote.
I would like
Okay.
to go first.
Okay.
Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Oh shit.
I can't vote for my own movie.
Okay.
Ba-da-da-ba.
That's not a law.
Bum-ba-dum.
All right.
If
Ru-
we do indie, are we watching just the first indie, or are we doing the full saga?
We could do all of them.
I'm not going to
You can't do
watch
the
the
full
entire saga.
We've already
And then do
seen
one
all of them,
podcast
though,
on the whole thing.
right? I'm assuming all of you have seen all of them multiple times.
No,
Yeah, of
Austin
course.
has not. Of
I have
course.
actually seen all of them once, each one time.
That's fair.
Yeah. I mean,
Not that they're bad movies.
I'll watch
I
them
mean,
all
Temple
again.
of Doom is kind of trash, and so is Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. But
Temple of Doom.
the other two are good.
I'm beginning. If we end up doing it, that is the one I will for sure rewatch, and because I'm thinking I might put it below Crystal Skull potentially.
Oh,
But what?
wow.
Temple of Doom.
I really dislike that one.
Yeah.
Temple of Doom is
Yeah.
not a great movie
Yeah.
to
Mm.
me.
Hot takes.
Hard takes.
We're
Yeah.
doing. Actually, I just realized we're doing Fifth Element next week. So
Okay.
I'll see you guys for Fifth Element.
Okay. So Ruby, what do you vote for?
What were the other options? What'd you say, Tyler? I don't even remember. Oh, Training Day.
Doesn't even matter
Uh,
at this point.
I would like to do an indie movie actually. So let's do Indiana Jones.
God damn it.
Wow. Okay.
Damn it.
Well,
I think
Interesting.
it's gonna be a fun run.
well, you know what?
Oh, I know. Look, it's gonna be great.
Yeah, it'll be a good time. I'm actually gonna pick Ruben's movie because that one sounds weird. But man,
Interesting.
that
You only pick that so that we don't come down to a 50-50 tie, right? Is that what it is?
well, they've both picked like Indiana Jones, so I don't see how it would be a 50-way tie.
Look,
And then
if
if
I
you
if
pick-
I could pick
if you pick
7,
7 and then I pick 7, then it goes down to 50.
I wasn't gonna pick
and
7.
then we
though.
do a
like that.
and then we do a coin flip.
Yeah,
So,
you can pick 7 if
if
you
I
want.
could pick
but
7,
I was,
man, I would.
I was actually it was Ruben's first, then Training Day, then 7.
Okay.
That was my tier list.
Okay.
So we're doing Indiana Jones then.
We're doing Indiana Jones. We're 100% doing Indiana Jones. Hell
That's-
yeah.
That's fine with me.
Mr. Jones.
I'm excited.
Nope,
So
Can't do that.
Nope.
Oh wow.
Nope.
Hey, let's go ahead and
We're actually not gonna be able to do Indiana
we're gonna do
Jones.
7. I think 7 is the one that we're
That's
gonna
just
do.
what he says.
No,
That's just
Hey,
what
say
he
that again,
says.
Logan.
No.
Because I'm gonna isolate the audio.
No.
Yeah.
Actually,
Logan is gonna give his little Asian boy voice. the
I'm not
entire-
gonna do that at all. Like I like that quote. Like because he's.
Hey, you know what another great movie
Short
is?
round.
I'll move on.
Fucking The Usual Suspects. That shit's awesome.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, thanks for throwing that in there.
I'm sorry. I'm
would
just going
love to
through a
do
list
The
of
Usual
like
Suspects.
great
It's
movies.
It's like an indie. It's like a little indie gem. I don't think very many people seen that one.
Oh,
What?
look at
Usual
that.
Suspects.
Yeah.
I think a lot
There's
of
Raiders
what
of
are
the
you
Lost Ark.
doing? Jesus Christ.
If Austin's seen it, it ain't indie.
I have now reclined.
I think I only watched it because I heard it was really good. It was a long time ago when I watched it.
What
though.
if
I'm just
Yeah.
waiting for us
So
to get to
good.
Return of the Jedi.
What
It's
if
that
we
plot twist,
decide on just so we can have maybe a bit more, be more specific? We come up with a genre that we all have to pick a film in, moving forward.
Okay.
So that way,
Okay.
we because it's kind of hard to compare if we want to watch Indiana Jones or if we want to watch fucking Seven. Like that's a big swing. In
You know,
tones.
we also
But if we do that, we should have a rotating list of genres that we go through. Like it should just be, we should create a list.
because that'll also
and then
help us
each
to where we're
week-
not just doing similar type movies week after week, which we've not had a problem with in the past. I don't think we've been pretty good with that. In general.
All right. So, do you want to sing us out on the Indiana Jones theme, Logan?
Bum 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 ba-da, ba.
All right, guys. This has been another episode of
Wait a
Podcast
second.
the Movie. Podcast.
Thanks for joining us tonight. Please check us out
is
on
this
our
the
social
Pokemon
medias.
battles?
Hopefully, keep going, motherfucker. Damn. Anyway, check this video out on YouTube if you want to see Logan sing at the end of it. He's so
I
great.
can't anymore.
We even have Rubyen in here as backup.
Dum 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 da da dum. Bum,
You guys are
bum.
not even singing the indie. Like what?
It's the Pokemon battle theme.
I know what it is.
Okay. That's exactly what's going on right here now. All right, guys. Next week, Indiana Jones.
All
Love
right.
it.
Later.
All right, see you guys.
Ba-na-na-na, 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 ba-na-na.